Hey everybody, we're at the 9th of November. It's Saturday, and I hope you have trying to find the right camera. I hope you're excited for this weekend. I do know there's a lot of changes in the world and the government, and then, of course, that does impact a local level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Santa Clarita Open Houses website, and we're going to look at what's happening with regard to today's inventory. And of course, I just search for Connor with Honor in Google, and boom, it's the first result. So here at the website, we're going to look at the open houses today. In addition, I want to point out a couple articles that I've written as of late, giving perspective on the local market and also talking about Valencia, California specifically. Valencia, if you don't know, it's one of the cities here in Santa Clarita Valley. And if you don't know and you're interested in the valley, what ends up happening is the Santa Clarita Valley is divided into 6 cities or so. So if you look at Santa Clarita, that's the valley overall. So typically for most people, that's going to include, starting at the top, just south of Antelope Valley, that's going to include Acton, then Agua Dulce. Then on the east side, you have the 14 freeway, so that kind of slices through Newhall and Canyon Country. And then on the west side, you have the 5 freeway, which slices through Newhall, Stevenson Ranch, Valencia, and then Castaic. So, and then Saugus is up in the Y, if you can imagine that, and that's where the layout currently is. Here at my site, SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com, I did a couple things. First off, when I had it put together, and I've been doing this since '98, I was irritated that most of the syndication sites, whenever you want to ask a question, and these are the biggies, these are the corporate-owned websites, whenever you want to ask a question or make an inquiry, then usually that consummate professional isn't the one that's going to be responding. It's really the people that are paying for placement on the website. So they really don't care. As long as you have the money as a real estate agent to pay for being on their platform, and some agents pay tens of thousands of dollars per month to be able to get your personal and private information in the form of leads. You go on the site, you ask the question, and then of course very quickly, within seconds, you're trying to put in fake information and make a hack email and see what happens. You're going to just get hit up all the time. So that's what I did. I built this platform on you not needing to register. And this isn't just open houses. This is every single listing that is for sale here in Southern California, and more specifically where I'm local, Santa Clarita Valley. But of course, there is an expansion there. So first off, I want to talk about one of the articles that I put together. Click right there. You're going to get the blog. And what I did is I put together this one, and this has to do with Valencia, California. One of the things I've noticed within Valencia, California is the way that we've climbed in the last year, over $100,000. This is single-family residence pricing. Single-family residence detached, because there are attached single-family residences. You might see a house that has a common wall, and depending on the layout, it's not going to affect the price of it in a huge amount, but it's going to depend on how it's configured and put together, because there are more attached single-family residences that really lack some of the attributes that a detached single-family residence might carry with it, i.e. larger front things, but in some cases, in fact, a majority of them, you're going to have that same width and dimension of a attached single-family residence as you would a detached single-family residence. But these are the numbers that put together. So that was the climb, and it was quite remarkable just looking at both median price and also median days on the market timeframes, which, things are really in that regard. Now we're into the end of the year, 2024, just had an election, new president, like it or hate it. This is where we are currently. So if you hate it, it's really time to wrap your mind around it and move on. And if you love it, then the world looks like an oyster and you're ready to go. So let's look at some of the local inventory here on the site and give you what's happening with regard to the open houses today. So right here at the homepage, you saw that pop up just a second ago. It's going to ask you to tell it who you are, thereby I get that information. You don't have to. It's completely unlocked, so you clicking on the X and closing that out doesn't change anything. You will still be able to look at everything on the website. This is what's happening with the open houses today, Saturday. This is Valencia, California. We started with the features, and then you can, of course, come down and look at all the open houses that are going to be held today and this weekend and next week. So whenever an open house is posted, it's placed here. And, of course, specifically, this happens to be for Santa Clarita Clarita, but you can easily go back. And if you're interested in LA, San Fernando Valley, those areas, that's here. So any one of these areas, you'll be able to see what's happening with regard to those open houses. And well, we have in LA, all of these in Los Angeles here, and so on. And then finally, you can choose the city that you want. So if in fact you are looking for Sherman Oaks, California, it'll pop up, you click on it, and here you'll get all the open houses plus the properties that happen to be for sale. This is a new listing. They're not having an open house on Ventura Canyon Avenue, number 12, priced out at $850,000 and so on. So you can see it. It has everything. I just wanted to give you that update. Oh, let me see how many open houses are being held this weekend. When I did this at the beginning of the week, we were somewhere in the 20s. Now we have 160 open houses scheduled for this coming weekend. Be careful out there whenever you're going into open houses. Some of the great questions I would ask is the agent hosting. First off, are you the actual listing agent? That's a great question to ask, number one. Number two is, are you able to share where the seller happens to be selling? I mean, maybe there's 15 about trying to get out of there. I'm sure nobody would ever admit to that, and I'm sure that's probably not the case in most circumstances, but that's the cop humor in me. But starting from there, I would find out what their reason for moving is. If they've already moved on and they're in another state, you might be able to use that to your advantage. If they're still living there and they're just out for a walk in the park during the open house and they really have no urgency in selling, they're maybe more testing the market. Again, that's really good to know before you start giving, the blood, sweat, and tears to secure that listing. I'm Connor with Honor. Thank you for watching. We will be back tomorrow, and check out everything online. We do have many different channels. You can check out our YouTube channel as well, so please feel free. I'm Connor with Honor. Over and out.